Hello Virgo, Virgo Rising and Virgo Moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for February 2017. And a quick reminder for you guys, remember these monthly horoscopes talk about big seasonal shifts, because very seldom does anything really happen for just one day in astrology. And if you're curious about more smaller weekly trends, I urge you to check out the weekly horoscopes that I do. They cover both astrology and tarot. The first half is all astrology and the second half is all tarot, so there's something in it for everyone. And of course, if you'd ever like to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com. Now, February does have a lot of big long-term trends to it. A lot of things that start this month certainly don't end this month. Some of them go on for 3 months, some of them go on for even longer than that. So the nice thing is for the vast majority of it, if not the whole majority of it, they are all great shifts. So let's just dive right in. At the beginning of the month, we've got Venus joining Mars in Aries in your 8th house of passive income, shared resources, intimacy, and self-employment income. And all month, a lot of Virgo people are going to be noticing that finances in these areas are going to be on the rise. If you make money through sales, if you make money through incentives, bonuses, commissions, tips, anything along those lines, you're going to be noticing that there's actually going to be a bigger payout here. In fact, with Venus and Mars in the 8th house, it's a great time for those of you who are trying to perhaps bolster the profit or bolster the payoff coming from a personal enterprise or even a side project suddenly becomes more financially viable. I also noticed that with Venus and Mars together in the house of intimacy, it's a highly romantic month for a lot of Virgo people. It's going to be a lot of time for alone time, if you know what I mean, and even those of you who are currently single still may find yourself in an opportunity for plenty of intimate encounters. This is going to be a very, very steamy month for a lot of you. You're going to be noticing your partner actually a lot more amorous, a lot more, I guess you could say, inventive romantically as well. So a lot of that attention is going to be going back and forth for all of you. We've also got on the 6th, Jupiter turning retrograde in your earned income sector, your 2nd house. And Jupiter is going to be retrograde all the way up until June. Now the thing about Jupiter retrograde is that it's not a bad retrograde. Some people hear retrograde and they run for the hills, and then it's kind of be like, no, wait, no, it's a Jupiter retrograde, come back. And that's kind of the situation that I always want to impress upon people. Astrology is complicated. And with Jupiter retrograde, we have this big theme of hidden treasures, of hidden gems. Alright, Jupiter retrograde in the earned income sector is talking about getting more out of something that you already have, whether it's something that's, growing in value, or maybe even finding ways to make more money or get more raises for yourself on the job without having to go out and make some kind of huge shift or huge alteration. One of the things about Jupiter retrograde, though, that might seem kind of weird is that we're finding opportunities to make more money even though we might not be getting a promotion in position or status or in title. And this again can talk about hidden gems, hidden opportunities to bolster your income, and maybe even find ways to get permanent raises where you are at your current job. If you're not working and you're looking for a new job, Jupiter retrograde can talk about a hidden opportunity closer to home than you could have expected. If you've been thinking you have to maybe go out and travel really, really far away, or maybe it's just been hidden from you this whole time, we tend to see, again, the dust settling, something is getting uncovered as far as a big income or employment opportunity that, again, was under your nose the whole time. And this window is here all the way up until June. Now that doesn't mean only one opportunity is going to show up. Many will, because many will be getting uncovered during this whole time. On the 7th, we've got Mercury going into Aquarius, into your 6th house of physical health, your reputation, as well as your schedule. And with Mercury in the 6th house, things tend to get a lot more busy, things tend to get a lot more productive, but it tends to talk a little bit more about the health side of things. And if for a lot of you Virgo people, if you have been trying to maybe find a way to speed up the payoff on some kind of health regimen, maybe you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to get something with your health under control, Mercury can bring in a lot of, I guess you'd say, more innovative means to actually get this working and get things back into balance, because Mercury is the healer of the planets, and so Mercury wants things to go in the way of perfect health. It does not go for extremes, but it does also go for what's fast. And you may be noticing a payoff in a workout routine. You may find out that things are starting to actually transform in your physical health much faster than normal, or much faster than you could have expected. There may be a new treatment option presented to you by a doctor or a physician that actually will come and replace something you have been on for a long time. And this may even be a time where some of you are ready to come off a certain type of medication or switch to something that is much more in balance with your physical body the way it is. And a lot of this is going to be shaping up between the 7th and the 25th of the month. On the 10th, we've got a full moon lunar eclipse falling in Leo. And what's going to happen here is that with a full moon lunar eclipse in Leo, in your 12th house, this is an area that can be a little bit jarring because it does have to do with release of your past or getting over a big issue from our past that we still have not been able to get over or get past. I said past a lot, didn't I? And this sometimes does force us to get over or move on from something before we're ready, or it may even actually sort of create a reliving kind of situation to have a big do-over. But it's not as bad as it sounds because it's actually going to be well supported and well expected. This eclipse is going to be making very happy angles to Saturn, to Uranus, and to Jupiter all at the same time. And a lot of you Virgos may be finding that if there has been something looming or some kind of weight you've been carrying on your back from your past, whether it's, again, maybe just an emotional burden, something we can't get over, or maybe it's a person or a liability, over the next 3 months, from February through about May, this lunar eclipse is going to be talking about doing a huge, big emotional clearing, but also a big liability clearing in your life. What has been weighing you down? What has been holding you back? What has been keeping you paralyzed in some place of your life? It could be spiritual paralysis, it could be burnout, it could be emotional paralysis, it could be psychological burnout. This is actually a very healing and clearing moon, and it might be pointing out where we're taking too long or where something that we thought was helping is not helping. And that can also be a bit of a shock, because sometimes what we think is helping is something we've become very attached to, but it's time to release it and move on. On the 18th, we do have the Sun moving into Pisces, into your 7th house of partnerships. This is your closest one-on-one relationships. This could be a spouse, this could be a boyfriend-girlfriend situation, this could be your best friend or your business partner. And with the Sun pulling focus here, it's about not only healing relationships, but also getting more out of them. Because when the Sun puts focus on that there, the Sun always wants to optimize things, it wants to perfect them. And we may be actually spending a lot of time during the next month, between the 18th of February going up until about the 3rd week of March, doing some serious either repair work or rebonding work with a partner or with a potential new partner, actually getting things a bit more serious, and again healing some issues that may be getting in the way. Things come up in relationships that do cause problems, whether it's maybe other people, family issues, maybe we're talking about difficulty sharing time, difficulty sharing space and responsibilities. Sometimes it's it's something intangible. Sometimes a person's again insecurities or emotional situations tend to actually be a liability on the relationship, and we're getting rid of liabilities, not the relationship, during this time. On the 25th of the month, we've got Mercury moving into this area, and we're speeding up developments in the interest of maturity of one of these relationships. And with Mercury, we're talking about also making a relationship that is more productive. And this could actually be really nice for those of you who've been feeling like maybe you and a partner have fallen into a bit of a slump, or maybe some of you have been feeling like you and a business partner aren't making the headway in a business project or a financial project that you'd like to see move faster, or at least go live faster. And so towards the end of this month, we are seeing sort of that shot of caffeine, that shot of espresso that Mercury is, hurrying that along safely and swiftly. So I think that what's happening here is we're trying to see where, again, have a lot of Virgos maybe been getting stuck a bit in the mud, or maybe doing a bit of, maybe we've been just sort of working against the tide, and now the tide is going out in our favor. Finally, at the end of the month, we do have a solar eclipse new moon falling in this part of your chart, in that partnership sector. And it's starting a big 3-month window as well, going all the way up until the end of May. And a lot of you single Virgos may start meeting a lot of eligible candidates for a long-term partnership. And this solar eclipse new moon does demand that this be something substantial. So it's not talking about bringing flashes in the pan, it's talking about commitment. The 7th house is the mature relationship area. There are 3 big relationship areas in the chart. The 5th house is kind of like the honeymoon phase, you know, all of the emotional roller coasters and things like that. 7th house is talking about a little bit more of a mature, established relationship, and material for that will start showing up a lot over the next 3 months, and it's going to be starting at the end of February. So I hope you have found this helpful, Virgo. It looks like a fantastic month for everyone involved. If you did enjoy it, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.